Anime Expo has finally happened. We finally can talk about things that have just taken place, and we have some really big wins. Hello friends, happy Monday, so very excited that you're here, so very excited that I'm here. I do apologize just in advance. I have stayed up late every single night of Anime Expo, even though I'm not even attending. I was just online, but I stayed up trying different series that have been picked up. And yeah, I think the past 2 nights I've gone to bed almost at 12, so I apologize in advance. If anything, I accidentally get mixed up, I'm gonna do my best. I triple check to make sure that I knew my facts before starting. So yeah, oh my goodness. Now, I will say in advance as well, I'm not covering Tokyo Pop. I'm filming this video on Sunday morning because I knew I wanted to wait for 7Cs to see what they would talk about. And I feel overall, this was a really good Anime Expo. I enjoyed seeing so many different manga licenses, so many different light novel, and a sprinkling of manhwa. I was hoping for a little bit more. I didn't technically get any license wins that I did feature in my video last week, which was a little bit of a bummer, but there was one publisher. I don't think I will ever experience this again, that I got 2 wins from the same publisher within 10 minutes. I was just absolutely mind blown. Unfortunately, it is not a shoujo title though, but let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm only covering manga licenses from Anime Expo. I know there was some really awesome anime news I'm very excited to talk about, but it's okay. For the sake of today, we're just talking about the manga licenses, and I'm gonna go in order of the publishers. So first up with Square Enix, I had high expectations, and I do not feel that they let me down. In fact, I was a little bit sad for past me because I actually had this shoujo title on my license wish list. I took it off and I said it'll probably never get picked up. But we are here. Today is that day, and yes, it did, and that is my classmate James. I was overjoyed that this 3-volume series got picked up. You could try it on the Manga Up app. That's where I first discovered it. It's about a young woman who really struggles to talk in front of people, so much so that she just sort of given up, that she just doesn't say anything. It's not because she can't speak or doesn't know how to. She just gets really caught up in people either laughing at her, making remarks, and she's like, you know what, I don't want to say anything, but she really, really wants friends. And so something happens where there is a transfer student who is the male lead. He comes in, he doesn't really know Japanese. I believe he's from America, only knows English for the most part. I can't remember exactly how they start talking, I guess you would say, where they become friends, but it was so sweet. It was a very cute and wholesome story, at least what I had read. Again, it's completed at 3 volumes. It was sad to know it was completed at 3 volumes. I'm like, okay, that is an easy investment. So I am very happy. I'm calling this a license win, even if it's not on my current license wish list, because I took it off and it was just a lesson learned that sometimes, and I've even seen people say that this past weekend with some other things we'll talk about, of don't take things off of your license wish list that you think won't ever get picked up, because you just never know. I guess sort of the same with this next one, because a lot of people were surprised it's already gotten picked up, because I think there's only 1 volume out or 2 volumes out, and that is not quite love. I'm not familiar with this, but I do know some friends who got very excited. This was a license win for them. Seems to be about a young girl who's in high school. Her mom gets some kind of job offer or has to go on a business trip, and she's traveling, so her daughter is going to be staying with the neighbors just so she's safe and she's provided for and taken care of. And I guess the family she's staying with, the son of that family is her childhood friend. I guess though, when she mainly moves in with them, even though it's only temporarily, that she realizes her childhood friend is not the same as he was when they were younger, because I guess he went off to university, so she hasn't seen him for a long time. And then now that they are finally seeing each other, the expectation or the idea in their mind does not match the reality. And I guess that's where it comes in, the title comes in, of Not Quite Love. I don't know if this is a romantic series or not, but I really do like the cover a lot. That guy's giving me, I don't think it's delinquent vibes, but it's very rare to see blonde hair characters if they're not delinquent. So if you've read it or you tried it, you can let me know if it may speak to my delinquent loving heart. Next up was Manga Mavericks, and I will say right off the bat that I feel between Manga Mavericks and another publisher, they had the biggest win of the weekend. Now, this wasn't my personal biggest win, unfortunately, because Kodansha did have that, but I cannot discredit, I cannot knock it all. Like, this was huge. When Manga Mavericks kept saying, we have a classic manga, do you know what it was? Do you know? It was the Sword of Paros, and I was just totally mind blown and shocked. I am not familiar with this series at all. They say it's a timeless fantasy classic of destiny, royalty, and revolution, is coming to English in a premium hardcover deluxe edition. I think Belle Mars, I was following so many of her tweets on Twitter because she was going to all the different panels. She said this is like the shoujo edition of a Berserk deluxe kind of volume, and it was incredibly wild to think that, wow, we are getting that kind of time and attention. And to further share on that, look at what they're saying that this volume has right here. Spot gloss cover, sprayed edges, restored color pages from previous editions. It doesn't say it here, but I think in Belmar's tweet that she shared, when she took a picture of the screen, I think they said that there's going to be illustrations that have never been shared before that are going to be part of this edition. And truly, it looks stunning, beautiful. I mean, the front cover, the text, the back, the sprayed edges, all of it. You can tell the love that went into this. I mean, when I saw the news, I broke out in goosebumps of excitement, of shock. Wow. This is happening, a series I never imagined would be possible. I know my friend Alex has talked so very highly about this series, how much she loves it, how important and endeared it is to her, and knowing it's getting not only published, but the best kind of attention to give it a deluxe and all the things I just mentioned. I mean, incredible. Manga Mavericks stole the show Friday night. They showed up and they showed out and they said, peace, see you later. I mean, maybe not quite like that, but it was really, they showed up. They backed up what they said, and I don't know if I said it earlier, but I know I mentioned in that video with Shoujo Wins, we went through everything that's been picked up and licensed so far in English. I remember saying, because I saw somebody else say it, the publishers that you should be trusting and believing that they are going to bring these titles over just like the Sword of Paros. It's the small publishers. Don't let them go under your radar, because certainly the bigger publishers are going to be picking this up. They're going to say it's too risky, it's not worth it, but yet Manga Mavericks is investing in the shoujo community, and people have already seen are pre-ordering it. I know they have a deal if on their website that you pre-order at least, I think it's $100 worth, that you get free shipping. If you are a Canadian, I already saw somebody say that Manga Mavericks confirmed to them it would be available on, is it Indigo? So you could get however that works and hopefully get free shipping that way, because I can imagine international shipping ain't gonna be cheap. And there's some other news with this we'll talk about later if you're like, well, that is amazing, but the physical copy is a lot, which I can definitely resonate with. Right now, I can't even consider getting any manga due to some situations right now, but this one, there will be some good news and you can check it out digitally. So yeah, that really stole the show Friday night. Manga Mavericks was I mean, they're the MVP. I think it's between Manga Mavericks and one other publisher that had the two biggest wins of this weekend. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to top that for the rest of this year, honestly. Like, it is just absolutely surreal. Now, I mentioned earlier, though, that my personal biggest win came from Kodansha, and I felt there was a lot of excitement that I saw for the different announcements that they had. Unfortunately, this year, unlike last year, where we had a whole video featured to just Kodansha licenses, they unfortunately only had one josei license this year, and that's a Serenade of Spring Thunder. This is available on K-Manga if you would like to try it digitally. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get it. I do remember trying it out. I really like the female lead a lot, but I wasn't a huge fan of the male lead. I don't know. I don't want to say he's a ninja, but I do feel that he has something along those lines. He goes and more or less seduces his enemies and then takes them out. Like, he will do whatever needs to be done, and he ends up being the female lead. He's got to, I think, take her out or kidnap her, and she is just not swayed by any of his seductions at all. She's very straight-faced, and funny enough, he's supposed to be one of the most powerful, most lethal, again, ninjas. I don't think he's a ninja, but whatever he is, he's one of the best, more or less. When he goes to get her, take her out, she actually ends up saving him. to his dismay, one of the most iconic panels I've ever seen that originally put a manga on my TBR comes from this manga because she is just doing the princess carry of him, and he's just so shocked because he's never had that happen to him before. I saw a lot of excitement for this, and I'm very happy for anybody who was really hoping that this would get physically printed. And also they shared the cover reveal right here, and it looked really good. I thought it looked nice. I'm very curious if the text slash font there will have some kind of effect. I will be very curious about that. But the one that was my biggest win of the weekend that I was so shocked when I saw it is Dig It. Yes! We are finally getting this in print. I know it's on K-Manga. I've read the first chapter and I loved it so much. So I'm like, I'm gonna hold out hope that maybe, just maybe, that Kodansha will print this. And they are, oh my goodness, if you love volleyball manga, you should try this out. It's definitely more gritty, I would say, than Haikyuu from what I've just read. It's about our male lead here. He is an inspiring libero, and I don't know exactly what his father's problem was, but his father decides to take on basically another disciple who's not his son. And our male lead vows to himself that he will beat his father one day and that he will not ever let his father's new disciple ever surpass him, in the sense of they have two different positions, but he as the libero will never ever let that guy ever score a point on him as long as he is libero on the rival team. It was very, very engaging, and I just could not believe that we got it. It was so cool. It was so surreal. My friend Anthony, he had got me something when he was at Anime Expo, and he had reached out to me, I think a few hours later. He was like, hey, do you want to see the Kodansha panels? At the time, I missed his message, and then I come back though, and this is the publisher I said, I don't think I will ever experience getting two almost back-to-back wins within 10 minutes. Because when I first see his messages, when I come back, the manga I see that is on the screen that he took a photo of is the Chronicles of Lean Day. Oh my goodness. My jaw dropped. Oh my goodness. Being Queenie put me on game for this one, and I was telling my oldest about it, and he's like, Mom, so you just looked at the pictures? I said, yes, I just looked at the pictures, but it was very beautiful because when I checked out the Japanese preview, the art is stunning. You guys know, or at least I've shared before, I do not buy manga for art alone, but it was so gripping to look at this first preview of this chapter and feel completely captivated by this story. I'm not even, it says here, a sheltered young noble learns to fight for her freedom in this sweeping high fantasy manga filled with romance, mysterious magic, and dark political ambition. That's all I know about it. I was just so captivated by the art and how, again, not even being able to read the words, it pulled me in. It was just breathtaking. And I'm very, very excited to read this for the first time. And then I found out May is going to be the translator. I said, we are here. It is going to be good. There's going to be no worries with this. I know with her hands on it, the translation is going to be perfection. We also got a cover reveal, and I am obsessed with it. I really, really love that font that they chose for the cover. It just fits the vibe of this cover so perfectly. I'm very, very happy. So yes, Kodansha gave me two of my very unexpected shonen, and no, they're both seinen, I believe. My two seinen wins. I marked off 2 checks on my very small board because I forgot to show it in that previous video. I was very, very happy. I was very happy, and again, just oh my goodness, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that. It was truly such an exciting time. So yeah, coming in on Saturday, I had such high expectations because I got a shoujo win from Square Enix, and then I got 2 seinen wins in a very short amount of time from Kodansha. I'm like, what you got for us yet? And I unfortunately didn't get a win. I was very bummed about Ice Press not licensing yet How to Win My Husband Over. Oh, I was so hopeful for that. Nobody picked it up yet. I'm truly hoping just still a matter of time. I'm gonna keep asking, gonna keep begging. But I do want to mention this first one because while I personally have no plans to get this, if you're a fan of Raven of the Inner Palace, you might want to get this though, because they licensed the prequel light novel of this called A Flower in Black Crude Clothes. And I was very shocked and very excited for several friends who love the anime a lot, who are a fan of the light novels as well. know, I had heard that it's in the same world as Raven of the Inner Palace, but it has different characters and obviously be before the main timeline of Raven of the Inner Palace. So yeah, if you are a fan of that series, congrats to you. Again, I saw lots and lots of excitement for that, and that was just very exciting to see. When it came to Ice Press, this one, I had shared about it, but I really was like, I'm not familiar with this, and that's Philomel the Fake. I love the cover art. I thought it was beautiful, and originally I didn't see the blurb when it was shared from Belmars or Manga Alerts or Winter Eventum, one of the three. Shout to them because they were fantastic and just sharing so many updates with everybody else online. But what got my attention was this opening line of when Princess Philomel finds a mysterious novel that features herself as the villain, she's quick to dismiss the similarities. Sure, she may be a little spoiled, but she's no evil imposter plotting the downfall of the Empire, or so she thinks. I said, okay, the villain in my mind instantly went to villainous, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go check it out. Well, that Friday night, I think it was, yeah, your girl went to bed late because she was up reading this. I think I read up to chapter 8, and this was a very interesting story. I would not say it's necessarily a villainous manga. It scratches that itch for sure, though, because, yeah, when the story opens up, we see the classic scene where our female lead is about to face her execution. She's begging her father, like, please, you know, save my life kind of thing, and then she's, you know, asking herself of, like, you know, what did I do to deserve this? All I wanted was love. We'll call her sister. We see her staring on, and then they leave, and then the execution happens, and then the story starts in who is the actual female lead. And at the time, she's 9 years old, and she has read the novel about this execution that happened, and she's very upset. She's like, she didn't deserve that. Yes, she made mistakes. But as the story goes on, our female lead, again, who's 9 years old, is realizing things happening are just like how they were in the novel. And that's when she starts really wondering, could she be that imposter, that fake from the novel? And if so, as you know, she's gonna want to avoid her life ending being snuffed out very quickly. And that's when she starts making these choices to change the timeline. She's taking, like, there was a certain incident that she read in the novel and she uses for herself, and she's apologizing to the girl that she has not met yet. Like, I'm sorry, but I really want to stay alive, and so I'm using this for myself. I think what made this most interesting to me is two different things. The top comment on top is, because you can go read it on there. Okay, so typically, you know, when we have a sisterly duo like this, okay, we have our villainess who is at her execution, and we know that the sister is the one to blame. When the sister's like, oh, I want to leave, this is too much for my heart, we see that sister who's leaving, we know she's ultimately the real villainess and gives the most sinister smile to the one who's about to die. You know, this is just how it goes. But this sister that says she wants to leave with her father does not smile. Nothing. Her facial expression never changes once. And like that top comment said, do we hate this girl or do we not hate this girl? There's an element of mystery that really engaged me where I'm like, I do not know. Like, is she good or bad? And how, since things are changing, I'm like, are we even going to meet her? Because now the villainess has changed. Will the heroine be the new villainess? I don't know. There's this underlying mystery that's very compelling. Same with this whole novel thing, because I think the blurb says, and so begins her desperate struggle to change the future and avoid the horrific fate she suffers in the book. Okay, maybe it doesn't say it, but it's like, okay, if you're using the novel as reference for your real life, will things change or will they stay the same? I have no idea if this is a romance. Please, no spoilers. I didn't even go and look up tags for this. I just am very engaged with our female lead, and honestly, the beginning was very sad. I ain't gonna lie. I got very emotional and I almost put it down. I said, no, let's keep going. We're gonna be okay. Surely things will change, because you just find out that really everybody just hates our female lead. She is nobody, and I mean literally nobody in her corner, and I admired how she's this 9-year-old girl making these really tough decisions and looking out for herself. Now, things have started to change because she has emotionally detached herself. Like, she still smiles. They're very much fake smiles, though. It's to get her by and keep her alive until she can escape and be free. I think she's planning to get to a certain point and then sort of run away and just live a peaceful life. That's her hope anyway. But when we see that, yeah, everybody's like, I don't like her, and she's overhearing it and her just hardening her heart, oh, It broke my heart for her, but you could see, I don't know if I said it, sorry, I was getting caught up remembering what I read, but you can see that the changes are starting to happen because her father's taking note that she's not doing the same things. So I am wanting to pick this up physically and see where the series goes. It was not like a instant new favorite the same way like Villains Are Destined to Die is, or not your typical reincarnation story, but I am very intrigued, saw a lot of excitement, and was very surprised of how captivated I was within those 8 chapters. And I'm looking at the time, I think it was like 11:40. I'm like, it's 11:40. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. But I was not expecting that to just get sucked in like that. So yeah, I feel like that was a win, even if it was something that was never on my radar originally. And I definitely wanted to gush to you guys about my thoughts on it because I was just so caught off guard. But the next one was J Novel Club. I thought they were good. I was hoping for some print licenses, and we did get some. Though I want to feature this digital light novel. I don't read digital novels at all because I have to read them on my computer, and that's just not an enjoyable experience for me. But I saw this one, I'm like, this sounds like a story for me, and I really loved how 2 friends said the same thing. They made my night that day. It's I'll become an elegant villainess. Time to enjoy my second life to the fullest. I have no idea what the series is about, but just the title alone, I said, girl, yes, yes. Going the route of the villainess is always the way, always the best route as well. So that was very cool to see. But the 2 titles, they got the print. One is a manga, one's a light novel, but they are the same series. It's From Villainous to Healer. I know the cheat to change my fate. I actually tried this a while back because a friend saw the listings of this up on Yen Press's website, because Yen Press and J Novel have some kind of partnership. I would say if you're looking for a villainous series that really has a gamer aspect to it, like a gaming aspect, not to the same links of, say, like Solo Leveling. That one's the first one that comes to mind. There's other ones I know I could use, but that's just the one that pops out. I wouldn't say quite to that extreme, but because the female lead, she realizes that she actually wakes up in a dating sim game. And she's like, my fiance, her cheating fiance, who does break up the engagement, is an NPC. And so when she realizes she's supposed to get exiled, I think she sort of embraces it, if I remember right, and she ends up fleeing, and she's like, well, I need a disguise. And the most memorable part is when you look at the cover here, these are the same girls. Okay, this is the same female lead, both the girl in the back and the girl in the front. But when she goes to a shop, this outfit she buys that has the blue with the bells is like a cat mask kind of outfit, or at least like a cat mask with a hood and a cape. That's the word I'm looking for, and a cape. And she's like, oh, this disguise will be perfect. I'm like, girl, you'll stand out more for this cute cat outfit than you were when you were just yourself. That was really cute. And she, I think, ends up going to a church, and that's when she realizes that she can get powers and what she wants to do with her life and whatnot. I am on the fence if I'm going to pick up the manga or not. I do think it's a very interesting concept, and it's definitely not like other villainous series I've read before, but ultimately I definitely think it's going to come down to budget. Again, we also got the light novel of this, and I think the cover is very, very beautiful. I'm not sure how they compare. I think the manga is serializes either in B-Log or Flo's comic. I believe that's where it serializes in. So that was a really exciting win. Always great to see J Novel printing their shoujo series, even if this one I felt was really much left field. I'm like, oh, I don't know anybody who's read this. Must be doing well for them to decide to take that chance to publish it physically. The other MVP of AX that nobody saw coming, because we're all asking the question, who has Ikoku Nikki? Who has it? Who has it? There's been a lot of rumors. Some people in the industry saying, yes, even a publisher came out saying, yes, somebody has picked it up. It's not us, but we know somebody has. Then Yen Press happened, their license announcements, and they didn't announce it. And we're like, well, okay, maybe 7 Cs. Inklore. Yes, Inklore came out and said, hey, we have it. We are printing it the summer of 2027. It is us. And everybody was just mind blown, myself included. I never expected them to be the ones that have it. And I do know there's a lot of concern because they're also the same publisher as Loving Yamada-kun. I think, though, that this release is going to be great. One of the reasons is because the official translator has come out and shared a tweet saying, hey, I'm the one working on this. And you can see the love and care that's went into it. I mean, she says, it's a challenge I don't take lightly, and I will do my absolute best to do this brilliant series justice. So we know we have an official translator because with Loving Yamada-kun, they use the digital version on Manga, and I don't know if that has an official translator. I don't know who it is. I've never heard anybody say, but I think, though, because they're using a digital version, they did not have the same abilities like they would with this series to do things a lot differently, because their manhwa is top quality. I love their manhwa a lot. I've been very impressed with how good it is. So I feel confident things will be fine and be okay with this series. If it's not, they will suffer the wrath of the community. I have no doubts, and I'm sure they want to avoid that, honestly. If you're not familiar with this series, I will say I've actually never watched the anime, so I'm not sure how accurate I am. I was using the blurb that was on Crunchyroll, but I believe that I think this is a series that has two heroines, but the younger one is the niece of the older female lead because her sister and her brother-in-law end up passing away, and so she takes on her niece to come live with her, and it's their slice of life story, living together and having ups and downs just like family does. I believe it does have some romance. I'm not sure how much, but the story seems very, very good, very engaging. I don't think I've met anybody who said I didn't like it, or if they're like, well, I didn't fully connect with it because it was slow. That's it, but it was definitely not bashing in any kind of way the manga or the anime itself. So yes, Inklore and Manga Mavericks, shout out to them both being the MVPs for sure, hands down of Anime Expo. But Omoi also came out, and I was so excited for what they had. So much so, I'm really debating when I can to get my subscription with them again because they came out with such really good licenses. The first one was them actually saying the Sword of Paros will be on Omoi's website starting this December. So if you want to try it early, get a feel for the series, which that's definitely going to be me because I don't know anything else about this series. I've never tried it. I've seen maybe the cover, but that's it. I haven't seen anything else. So was very, very happy to see that. I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to wait. Like, no, I am trying it, y'all. Thank you so much, Omoi, for picking up for this opportunity. Like, I was very, very thankful. Same as this next one. We got the sequel to Natsumi and Natsumi. This one's officially called Natsumi and Natsumi More Perfume. And while I have not read the main series or finished reading the main series, I was so happy to see this. Like, yes. The main series is about our male lead. He wants to be a hero, but looks like a delinquent, and it causes problems for him. But his female best friend really, really likes him because they end up having a romance. She adores him so much, and she doesn't want him to ever feel poorly about himself because he looks like a delinquent or have any struggles, and she just wants to openly support him. And so it's their romantic story, but also I'd say the side characters were very, very fascinating as well. And I don't remember their names, but a few stand out in my mind of who I really liked and would love to see how their story unfolds and how it ends. So yes, this was another big win. Was very, very excited to see that. Same as this one, Walking Home with You, which I did not know was by the same creators, Hikaru and the Light. I don't remember what it was, but I remember getting this on my radar because either it won a famous award or it got an anime adaptation. I'm not sure which one it is. It's a fresh coming of age romantic comedy. I have wanted to try it for such a long time, and so seeing that Omoi is officially getting it, yes, I was just blown away by Omoi's licenses. They also had a sports shonen one as well that looked good, but I was most excited for these three personally. This one isn't a shoujo. I'm not really sure what the demographic is, but I'm still no less excited for it, and just like, yes, Omoi is just knocking out the park. The other one too, they recently just licensed, I think it's a Snowy Fox in the Northern Fort, I think is the name of that one. It looks so cute. It looks so cute. So man, Omoi is really stepping up their game. I really, really hope that they will print more of their series on there because they have some good stuff. They have some good stuff. And so last but not least was Seven Seas, and I really feel that they showed up for their GL imprint that they have. It's this word right here. I'm seeing it in my head, but that imprint, they have 3 new licenses, and I was so overjoyed for fans who have been impatiently waiting for Seven Seas to really have more under this imprint. They only have one josei, unfortunately, but I was looking at this because it's called This Time Around, My Lovesick Hero Will Keep Me Alive If I'm Lucky. And I saw this, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot, especially when it was talking about how it's a fantasy romance manga. Had a little bit what seemed some potential villainous vibes or scratch that itch for me. And I was like, okay, I'm intrigued, but I saw the creator's name. I said, I've seen this name before. I'm like, where have I seen it? Where have I seen it? I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what, let me just go look into it while I'm waiting for the next license announcement to be uploaded online. design. Sure enough, in another world, My Sister Stole My Name. Same creator. In fact, we have about 3 other titles, including that one, that are published in English. 2 of them are by Tokyopop. One of them is getting anime adaptation. I can't remember the name of that one. Can't remember the name of the other 2, but when I saw it was by the same creator, I said instant pickup because I really enjoy this creator's work and I love In Another World. I love that manga. It is so good, very compelling. I just wish it released faster. It is fantastic. This is complete at 4 volumes. It is based off of it was a web novel when I looked into it. The covers are really nice and it does seem like our female lead, she has unfortunately died 4 times, has all the memories from those 4 lives. So now, you know, she's just trying to stay alive past the age, I think, of 20. She ends up going to a place I think they said was called like the Sanctuary, aka the countryside, to stay safe. But before she flees to the countryside, there are 2 orphans, I believe they had said, but one of them is the male lead and his sister is on the verge of dying. She ends up giving these children her shoes to help find medicine, get something to help heal her sister so she can keep living. Well, the male lead, he never ever forgot that. And so when both of them grow up, both the kids, and because at that time the female lead was also a child, she might be a few years older than him. It's hard to say because of when I was looking at the Japanese preview, he is holding his youngest sister in his arms and he's on his knees on the ground, but they both were young. So this isn't like a massive age gap if it is an age gap at all. But she gives him the shoes and then fast forward several years later, he finds her. He wants to protect her. I don't know if he knows like what happened. I didn't read the full blurb. I just saw who the creator was and that was like done deal. But he, as the title says, he's a very lovesick hero who will do anything to keep her alive. And I truly hope that happens. But the art was very, very nice. The characters were just so beautiful. The male lead, his glow up was like a glow up. I was like, wow, like bro grew up, and very excited to see what comes from it. So I was excited to have something from 7 Seas I was looking forward to. There was one other one that I'm probably not gonna be picking up just because there's so much I already want to pick up already. And my pre-order list of things I want to pre-order is already overflowing. I'm actually having to cut back on things and desperately hope that my library has it or I can get another time because I can't get everything. But that is a journey of a dark elf with fading powers. This is on K-Manga and I remember trying chapter 1 and really enjoyed it. And so I was excited to see that we're getting this physically printed in English. I cannot remember much of that chapter 1 that I read, but I do think that she was like a magician or some kind of powerful mage where she used so much of her magical abilities that now they're fading. And so she doesn't have any more abilities and she's out there in the countryside just doing her thing, what seems to be a normal human, because somebody finds her and they're very, very surprised that she's not using magic to help make her life easier. And that's when she shares like, hey, I don't really have any anymore. And I guess it's her story, her journey, excuse me, of being this dark elf doing her thing. So yeah, very happy. I would definitely, if my library got this, hands down, I would definitely pick it up to read it and see where it goes, because again, I did enjoy what I read on K-Manga. So overall, Anime Expo was pretty awesome. And I know, again, Tokyopop, that their announcements are going to be happening as the day I'm filming this video, but I will not be able to cover what they announce or anything, but hopefully there's something good from them and hopefully you got a win from this weekend. And so let me know down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!